on. Yeah, feels like a decent one. Let's see what we got here. What? Yeah, he's not bad. If you can see him back there. Oh, yeah. Decent little fish. Oh. He's got a little fight to him for this cold water. He's not bad. Not a giant, but he'll do. What do we got here? So, sitting here, and just had two boats come up by me here, and both of them stopped, and you know, did the old check-in thing, have fishing, and it's just a really good example of what I've been talking about today. It's early March, or late March, early spring, and both these guys in the boats here, they've been out fishing the main river all day, not a fish between them. So I didn't share too many of my secrets, but I pointed them in the right direction at least. So, but that's kind of my point today. Is same rules don't apply this time of year. You know, you kind of got to know what the fish are doing and follow them just like any other time of the year. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about here. This is the third one in about 15 minutes out of this one snag down there. Fast action like this. Like I said, it's a run and gun. Pop 2 or 3 out of this. I'm not even going to bother to fish this anymore after this. And head on down to the next hole. Let's see here. Went up this tributary ways, and sorry for all these birds. But anyway, went up this tributary ways, and fish just weren't up too far. They're holding in the bottom part here, probably about the bottom quarter mile, and they're just stacking up in here, man. So yeah, I'm pulling 2 and 3 out of every one of these snags, as long as they're over about 4 feet deep. 4 to 6 is the magic number today, and oh, he's really in there. And yeah, like I said, they're definitely staying out of the current. They don't want heavy current, and they're just it's another little fella, little eater, but they're definitely staying out of the heavy current, and they're not going too far up in here. They're just now starting to stage. Like I said, it is March, and but they're definitely pulling out of the main river and starting to stage to you know, start spreading out the system here. So awesome fishing today, man. Okay, so as far as tackle goes and rigging, this is what I got. I'm using today just a little egg sinker, sliding sinker, 3/4 ounce. Got my number 3 swivel here, heavy duty, and I'm using a neoprene bead on here to cushion the knot, to save my knot, so it cushions it, the impact on the knot from that egg sinker. And I'm running about a 12-inch leader. Don't need too long nor too short here. Like I said, I'm fishing in moderate current. If I'm fishing lower current, can have a little bit more of a leader. You know, the faster current, you want a little bit less of a leader. You don't want too much twisting going on, especially when you're fishing tight into these snags here. You'll end up you know, re-rigging all day. So, and as far as terminal gear here goes, hooks. On this setup, I've got a circle hook rigged up here, just a 2/0 circle hook. The fish today seem to be They're not striking too hard. They're fairly aggressive, but they're just kind of picking up and going. So this circle hook's working out great. You know, they'll pick it up and turn, just go, sets itself, fish on, no problem. So that's what I got for my rigging. Well, as far as rods go, I don't go too fancy on it for catfishing here. Just use a medium action ugly stick. Like I said, not fancy. It's a good rod. They hold up well. Got some good action on it. And I got my Garcia 6500 C3. Can't beat that for a catfishing rod. A lot of people like these reels for the bait clickers on them. You know, you just set it up in free spool, put your clicker on, and toss it out. You get a bite, and you know, fish on. It's like a little built-in alarm system there. Lets the fish run a little bit, so you know, different depending on the what the fish are doing. Sometimes that works best. Sometimes it doesn't. So if I'm doing some flathead fishing, I pretty much always use that because they need a pretty good run, crunch that bait, you know, the live bait you're using, and just you know, they need a good run to take off. So I'll do that, lets them have a free run at it. These channels, it pretty much never does any good. You really don't need to do that. I like to keep my rod in my hand, and it just gives me a good feel of what they're doing. Even if they're really finicky, I'm biting really light. I can feel that, and so I'll give them a little bit of you know, a little bit of play with it. So I'll follow them a foot, 2 feet, just depending on how tentative they're biting. You know, once they're pretty committed to it, you know, I'll pop back, set the hook on them, and fish on. So that's pretty much the way I do it. I'm using 2 rods. I've got the ugly stick here, 7-footer with the bait casting reel. The other setup that's in the water right now is just another 7-foot graphite rod with spinning reel, and I like to play around with a little bit of both kinds of reels. So, and I spool them both up with 30-pound spider wire braided line. Gives me a little bit lower diameter, a little bit more, you know, oomph for getting these fish out of this tight cover, and a little bit more abrasion resistance, so I don't lose too many fish due to a broken line. So that's pretty much my rod and reel setup. Okay, well, catfish and talk ain't catfish and talk without the bait discussion. So a lot of people like to use you know, the prepared baits, the stink baits as they call them. You know, the prepared dough baits, all that stuff, chicken livers, the list goes on and on what you can use for catfishing. What I've found in my experience is nothing beats cut bait. Nothing beats something that's native, natural to the water you're fishing. So what I got here is a big old fat chub. That is by far my favorite bait. It's been the most productive. You know, carp, a little carp, suckers, you know, they all work pretty good. Chubs, like I said, creek chubs definitely my favorite. So, and good old night crawlers, some big old fat juicy night crawlers. I got a lot of debris and stuff flushing through the river, so you know, kind of flushes out some of those night crawlers, and that's what I'm using for bait. Like I said, I like to keep it real, keep it simple there, and cut baits never failed me. One other thing about this time of year, this early season, is some good dead baits that's been sitting around for a while. Seem to do pretty good. So I'll usually keep my eye out. This is gonna sound, you know, gross probably, but and it is, but I keep my eye out on the banks and in little back eddies and stuff like that for dead fish, for floaters, you know, dead carp or sucker or whatever. Nothing that's too gushy and smelly, of course. You know, something that's you know, fairly recent, still a little bit fresh, but it's what's abundant in the river right now. It's what the fish are used to eating. And so that's what I tune in on, is whatever the conditions are calling for. You know, it's about paying attention to what you're, you know, what's going on out here. And so I'm paying attention. You know, I know that the water's high, it's flushing down some stuff. So I got the night crawlers with me. I know that there's chubs in here, and I know that that is one of the preferred food sources of these guys. So that's that's what I'm using. I don't know how much that stink bait and stuff comes floating through the river here too often. So that's just not my style. So like I said, I'm just telling you what's worked for me, and the bait choices. Nothing beats fresh, good cut bait in my book. So alright, so I'm gonna take and place my bait right in front of this blown down tree out here. Got in there. Let that one soak in a little bit, and get some new bait rigged up on this one. That's another thing about this bait here is you want to keep it fresh, so I'm changing it out fairly frequently, every 10-15 minutes or so, once it just gets waterlogged or whatever. And just using about a 1-inch strip here, and just getting it in on these chubs. I keep it right through the skin there, so it kind of stays on a little bit better. Rig it up, leave my hook point exposed. Lots of hook there to lots of hook there to bite in to the fish. No point in trying to hide it. They really don't care. So all they care about is a free, easy meal. All right, there she goes. Got to take her here. Follow her. Boom! Set the hook. Yeah, fish on. There we go, another. That's a decent one too. Wow. Here we go. Putting up a good fight today. I don't know if you can see this or not. The camera's kind of messed up, but you already film all this yourself out here. Anyway, I got a good fish on. Yeah, baby. Whoa. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, another good one. Another good fish. Another good fish. And this was on that this is on the circle hook, like I said. Just let him pick it up and go. That's a good one. You know they're over 5 when you can't get your hand around that back part of their head. And I got a feeling this is gonna be one of those. It's a two-hander. Yeah. I'm gonna put this one on the scale. I got a feeling it might push 10. So, yeah. Oh, another fish on. Another fish on. Holy cow. Alright, got a fish in the boat. Got a fish in the boat. And another fish just slammed this back rod right here. Wow. This is fishing. You believe this is March? March catfishing out here. Wow. Yeah, I just barely got that fish in the boat. And this other one just slammed my back rod. Woo. Fast action today. Yeah, it's not quite as big, but that was a hell of a lot more aggressive bite. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. See, these ones you just reach down and I got these handy little holders on the sides, and the hand fits right in there. Okay, so I lied. That last one wasn't a 10, but got him on the scale. She'll go 9, so no complaints there. Decent fish.